Look, this podcast gonna be a new one. Y'all will think I outside, I know, but I haven't touched grass in days. Okay, so just know if you hear any wildlife outside,
Mhm.
that's just Mother Nature doing Mother Nature's thing. I am not at the zoo either, so yeah.
Weird, weird, weird.
I want to start this off with a a nice Bible verse to get people motivated, right?
All right.
I saw this post on Instagram and it went. I told my mom this morning. She started cackling because laughing normally is for chumps. And it goes, I wanted to go jogging, but Proverbs 28, verse 1 says, the wicked run when no one is chasing them. So there's that. Okay. Yes. I. Oh, so there's this thing that I wanted to talk to you about, right?
Mhm.
Overheard a lady saying she won't let her kid watch Peppa Pig because it encourages bad behavior, like jumping in puddles. I watched Roadrunner as a kid and haven't blown up anyone with dynamite yet. It's the yet part for me. Yet, like it has yet to
Okay,
happen.
okay. So there's still room for the action to come to light. Okay, interesting.
No, not okay. That is not okay. That is not okay at all. It is not. Oh my word. I have a joke for you. Okay, it's better than bean sprouts. Okay? Do you know why six was afraid of seven?
Because 7, 8, 9.
Right. So you
Yeah.
still laugh at that anyway. I can't believe that's what tickles your fancy. But okay, this one, right? It's like, why was 69 afraid of 70?
Hmm. Why was 69 afraid of 70?
Because they had a fight on 71.
Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Okay.
honestly,
Okay.
honestly, I thought something was gonna go down because funny internet number. But like
Right. Right.
that was the moment I realized that I have dad humor.
I really. We have now come to the age where we have old people humor. Oh man.
Okay. So let's talk about what grinds our gears.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So what
So
grinds your
like
gears?
when toothpaste fall in the sink.
Hey, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that because
Mm.
there have been multiple instances where I
Mm-hmm.
go to put the cap back on the flicking toothpaste. I look back at my brush, right?
I know, right? And it's empty.
And
And you're like,
in
where
this
is
empty,
the
it have nothing. I now put it there less than a second to go. The hell the toothpaste gone. I look down in the sink. I say, your mother asked why you had to fall. So I clean up the sink now. Go back again.
mm-hmm.
For the second time, my brush have no toothpaste on it. I say,
And you find that happened to me.
hey,
No, I swear, it had a time it happened to me like 3 times back to back, and I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm not supposed to brush my teeth. I was so pissed.
right, the universe is like, oh, gravity going to be extra. Like the force of gravity is just going to activate the moment you decide to put the cap back on the toothpaste, and your toothpaste is just going to fall off your brush. And I'm like,
Bro, so I legit had to do one of these, right? I had to like put the toothpaste on my toothbrush and start patting it in with my finger because I was like, I don't want you to get nowhere. I don't want you to go.
for the third time, I just put the toothpaste on the toothbrush and stick the brush
Mhm.
in my mouth, and I'll be like, "Hold your ass, you're staying on the brush, right?" Oh my gosh.
You were telling me when I started saving for the podcast because like there are some people that it would grind some people's gears, right? Because
Hmm.
you said no, the worst is when it fall in the shower, and I'm like, bro, I just like mash that with my feet and wash it off, right? Like I don't pay it no mind because it didn't shower, but you were like,
Yeah, no, but like no, but you see, when it falls in the shower, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's like you had to watch it fall, literally fall all the way to the floor and be like, wow, you couldn't just stay on the brush.
I don't
For
see
two
mine
seconds,
fall.
you couldn't just stay on the brush. Your
I
ass
don't see
have to be
mine
one with
fall.
gravity and go down to the floor with it dirty with bad water. And I have to take my foot now, and my bottom of my foot could be smelling like toothpaste because I scrubbed the floor with toothpaste trying to wash this shit down the drain.
Why your butt
Hey,
smell like toothpaste? Wait, what? Why are you
no, my
look
foot,
at
the
me?
bottom of my foot. Hey, what you
Oh,
hearing?
you
What you
said
hear? My bottom? What? I decided to sit on the toothpaste and scrub the floor with my ass? What? What? No, I said the bottom
why
of my
would
foot.
make you squat when you go down? I don't know how you
Hell, who
did,
does
brother
do that?
man. I don't.
Oh my gosh. Wow, boy. Nature really have your ears buzzing today. 'Cause you in here right at
Oh
uh,
my gosh. So have you heard about Donald Trump? Right?
yeah, yeah. He
And
got
how
shot. The man
yeah
missed,
he
apparently, and grazed his head.
Donald
Oh.
Trump said, I'm gonna be duck side today. No, somebody else said they're gonna be duck side today, and they were like, "Pew, pew," right? I don't, I don't know, bro. But the memes coming out of this, right?
Hmm.
The greatest one, that's a laughing matter. But okay, so the funniest one that I saw was like the only one I saw before the one I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
Uh, was when I opened TikTok and I saw saw this guy, and he had bandage wrapped around his head, and he was like, "How Donald Trump be in his his hospital room, right?" And he's dancing to "Oh They Not Like Us" or something like that. I'm like, what? Why? And then the greatest was when they had an animated version, right,
Hmm.
of Donald Trump and his stand. So it was a JoJo's reference. And I'm like, no way, right? So his stand caught the bullets. And that's why it didn't like
Oh
hit
my
me, right? And
god.
I saw that. I was like, ah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
The internet is not a real thing, man. Oh my gosh.
No, it is not
It's really
serious
not a real
matters.
thing.
I thought I was bad, right? Because we were talking about it, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
it is what it is, right? But no, no, the internet is like, it is, yeah, it is what it is, but at the same time, memes, right?
Real.
But I love how the news, people who speak about news on TikTok, they're like, if Mr. Trump got murked, right, and he's unalived,
Hmm.
the whole country will be like devastated. It's gonna be a sad time for the entire country. Meanwhile, the said country is like, here, hold this JoJo meme of this. this Here, hold this meme of how, since he's not dead, like, hold this of him dancing in his room. I'm like, bro, Hajima, why you want to do something like that? Right? Like, do you think like memes will be done in history books?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Somebody, because
Hmm.
there's already like pages and reels and stuff showing like OG memes like from back in the day, and
Hmm.
like I'm sure that pretty soon in the future people are going to start making a meme hall of fame and a meme museum, you know, just to catalog all the best memes that we've come across for like the past 2 decades.
For the
Yeah,
past 2 decades. Damn, me that old, bro.
yeah,
Wait,
for real.
wait,
When you say it out loud, right? It's like, damn, 2016 was just last year, right? Nope,
bro.
nope.
I had to think
8 years
about it when
ago.
you said it. I was like, have I been alive that long? And I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
I
I
believe
have.
it too,
I
right?
was around when memes became a thing. Damn.
Yeah.
Imagine telling your Imagine telling your future children, oh yeah, I'm older than TikTok. I'm older than memes. Oh my word. I can't
Real.
my soul, bro. I'm older than Snapchat. I'm older than Instagram. Actually no, not
Nah,
really.
you had to
You
hit them
probably
with
you probably older than Instagram. But like I'm the same age as YouTube. Like I'm older
wow,
than
wow,
YouTube, bro.
wow.
Oh
Ah,
my
you just
word.
nah, you just gonna throw that out and just like skip past it. All right. I see you. I see you. I see you. All right. Wait, I remember this. I remember this. You
Fam,
know
I sent you, and you know what you did to me? You know
what?
what you did to me?
What
Call
did I
me
do?
Tanty, bro.
What?
You called me Tanty.
Well, I mean, you're playing the
You
age
made
now,
me had a
auntie.
brain fart on that podcast when you called me Tanty, and I had to think about it. I'm like, and the only thing that played in my mind, which is why I started cackling the way that I did,
Mm.
was when my brother was like, "Oh yeah, happy birthday! Just now I have to call you grandma," and then like later you called me Tanty, and I'm like, "Wow, okay,
Uh,
okay."
but yeah, you have to hit your kids with. Have y'all ever like? Do y'all know about the existence of Vine? Like when you pull up Vine,
Oh my gosh, no
yeah,
way. Okay,
yeah.
okay, so like
Well,
so like if your kids are cultured, right? And they
mhm,
and they find themselves watching Vine, they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember those days." Damn.
real, Ooh.
You're like, you know about Vine? I'm like, yeah, I was there when it came out. I was there when it came out.
And
I
then they hit
made
you with, wait,
vines.
how old are you? 100 years? 100 years?
It
Bruh,
was like, Mom, you're ancient, aren't you? I'm like,
mm.
you know, technology has advanced. I may not look it, but yeah. Oh my gosh, I want to hit you with a fact, right?
All right, all
That I
right.
learned because one of my friends, she's studying to be a doctor, and she's like, I need you to call me. Actually, no, I'm gonna call you. Okay,
Mhm,
forget the
mhm.
voice note that I sent you. I'm gonna call you. I need to teach you something. Okay, I said okay. She's like, yeah, I have an exam tomorrow, so thanks for doing this. I said, no problems, G. By the way, I just woke up. I'm looking like Gary, right? Crust in my eyes, bro. Like, okay, whatever we gotta do to support a friend. And she's like,
Right.
if you do drugs, even after a month, if they take your hair and test it, it will show them that you did drugs, if you did drugs or not. Like a whole month after you did it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was like, your hair, bro? Because I heard about urine, right?
Right, yeah.
And then have you heard did you hear the story about a guy who like did drugs and he was like he wanted to get into the military. He got his girl to
Mhm.
pee in the cup, and when they tested his pee, when they tested his sample, they looked at him like, "Are you good?" Because it turned out that the person was pregnant. It went pregnant.
Oh
He's
my
like,
god.
what? I'm like, well, so why they just don't do that? Why they just don't take the hair to see? Because then, I don't know. I'm not too sure. But when I found out that, I was mind blown. I was like, true, my
Yeah,
hair?
that's pretty interesting because I know about the urine tests and stuff because like for athletes now to see if they're not
Yeah.
on stuff when they're competing
Hmm.
and whatnot. But the fact that your hair shows it a month after you stopped, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. I was mind blown. I was like,
So let me ask you this, right? So if
mhm.
somebody were to do cocaine, right, and you just kind of like you're leaning close enough to get a whiff of their hair, would you get high?
Bruh, what? I.
Like essentially you're sniffing secondhand cocaine from their hair, right? Is that possible? Or if you touch it, or if you run your hand through their hair, right? Would you get like like you know how you have your hair has like grease and like stuff
Imagine they had
and
like
sweats,
dry
and it's like
scalp and it looks like they scratched their head beforehand. And it looks like, ew. I don't know, fam. I'd probably have to ask her. But she'd be dumbfounded. She'd say no. What
mm.
kind of question is that you're asking me? What, what is so dumb? I don't think so. Maybe if you like, maybe if you take one of their strands and eat it. I don't know. This is becoming weird. Let's move on. Okay, so I sent. I don't know if I should say his name now. Because this is coming out way after, right? Even though we're
Mhm.
recording this beforehand. Oh, the parrots are back, y'all.
Ah,
Love
yes,
that.
Mother Nature has wanted to join the podcast. Hello, tweet, tweet, tweet.
Mm. So I messaged a podcast host, right?
Mhm,
I've mentioned them before. I don't want to mention them because I also don't want to piggyback off of the fame. So
mhm, mhm.
I think you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yes, yes, it's blatantly obvious. I know who you're talking about.
Atsuma! I made Chinese food today.
Ooh.
The noodles did not come out good. I don't know what is with these people, and I told these people, I was like, listen, not all noodles are created equal.
Not all noodles are created equal. On this day, let it be known for the history books that Ray has said not all noodles are created equal. That needs to be a statement in history. Record it. Record it. Document it. For not all noodles are equal in thickness and length. Okay.
Shut up!
Some may bend, some may not bend. Some may boil at different
Oh my god,
temperatures
shut up! No.
and may fall into the water in different angles, but not the same angle. Let
Cállate
it
la
be known that
boca!
discovery has been made today on the 19th of July 2024.
You're sad. Bro, chill. It's just not me, nah, not able, nah. It's just that I use the chow mein noodles a little more thin, right? And this one
Right.
is slightly fatter. Pause. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore it's not created equal because it wasn't tasting the same. It's like when you use panini instead of fettuccine or
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
fettuccine, however the hell they want to pronounce it.
Fettuccine, yes. Not fettuccine, fettuccine.
I
Okay.
said fettuccine and I said fettuccine for every look. And that's having this debate with you, right?
Yes,
It's
proceed,
for your freaking Alfredo, bro.
proceed. Right.
It
Yes.
don't taste the same. I mean, it tastes good either way, but like it's not the same,
Right.
you know?
Well, I mean, it's a different texture, right? Because the pasta is different. So.
Exactly. So why it must go down in the history books that I said, listen, all noodles are not created the same, right? Like,
Because nobody has ever said that before.
I think it's common
You're
knowledge that not
listen,
all
you're
noodles
the
are
first
created the
person to fight for noodles equal rights. Okay, this is history in the making. The first podcast to fight for noodle equality.
same.
I
I
love
never
it.
said that.
I
I
love it.
just I just said let it be known that all noodles are created the same. Right.
Yeah, but the thing about it is
Damn.
we don't discriminate against noodles here. All is accepted
You
because
would
all
believe
tastes
her?
good depending on what you got.
Do you, on this topic of equality or whatever, right? My grandmother, today's my mom's birthday, right? My
Ooh, happy
grandmother made
birthday to mama. Yeah, yeah.
my my, my grandmother made bread today, right?
Mm-hmm.
The bread, the bread.
Why is something like the bread come out disfigured?
I want to clarify that we're both people of color, okay? Right. Let that be known.
Now, what does that
But
have to do with
the
it?
bread came out burnt, okay?
Oh, I was on the crispy side. All
Yes,
right.
the bread
Hey,
was well
listen,
done.
listen.
Mm.
If, for the people that don't know, cripsy bread, not crispy, but cripsy bread, there's a difference, right? It's a whole game changer. Whole game changer. You have crispy bread and a bread with a nice crunchy crust, and then you have cripsy bread, right? With a hint of
Hmm.
charcoal flavor.
Well,
That
some
you
chocolate
see,
flavor is
that
insane.
that does go down different. Let me tell you, that is a whole different.
No, no, no. It is hit different when it go on the day after, right?
Ah, 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 you damn well.
But no, I think this one was just cripsy bread, right? Actually, no, I
Right.
have no clue which one this fall under because the inside of the bread
Mm-hmm.
was soft and nice, right? But the
Mm.
outside, that farm, the best way I could describe this bread, it looked like an Oreo in loaf form, right? That's what, that's what
wait, wait. Before you continue, you know what the Oreo looks like, right?
Yes.
So, so you telling me the outside burnt to all hell, but the inside is nice and fluffy and flowery, right? That's what you're trying to describe to me there.
There, precisely.
What the hell?
We got a new oven, so I don't know. Granny, not she don't. But anyway, so all of us, I'm so sad to say, but we separated the colored from the whites, right?
Uh-uh.
Like I have to say it like this because of what happened lunchtime, right? It goes into context because she made it seem like it was a bad thing. Like people don't want to hurt up their gums, fam. You understand?
Let it be known that we do not discriminate against bread here. All right. This is just
Exactly.
safety. This is just safety for gums not being shredded and sore.
Hi.
So
I
just
really
just
not
just want to put that out there.
I really not feeling like fighting for no bread rights today. I know the yeast will rise, but I don't feel like fighting for no bread rights right now. So so keep that in mind, right? Lunchtime rolls around where we figured out that noodles are not created equal. But like we're eating food, Granny's like, oh, has make a good Chinese style chicken boy. So and so was real right.
Hmm.
No wonder why everybody like my Chinese chicken. I'm like, fam getting a big head at her old age. Okay, cool. Go off. I guess I found it was not her best work today. It
Hmm.
tasted kind of fresh. But anyway, so yeah, aside from that, we're not here to talk about Chinese style chicken. We're here to talk about what she said after that. She was like, listen to me. y'all shouldn't be so racial, okay? I find the bread tastes real good today. I was like, what? She's talking about the bread. She was like,
Yeah.
how are we racial for the bread? And then like we figured it out, right? Because because it was like Oreo in blow form. So we're
Oh
like,
my god.
mm.
Granny
It turns
Granny
out
gums built different though. She have iron gums. What the
no, she have
ass?
dentures. That is what
Ooh!
the problem is.
Shit! Them dentures made from Captain America's shield vibranium, boy.
Hi. So anyway, so, I looked at my mom, right? Because she was still
Mhm.
confused. I said, Granny, think we're racial, but we legit had colored bread this morning, right? We had colored bread this morning for breakfast, and now we're having Asian food for lunch. She's still talking about, oh, don't be racial in this household. And then my mom is like, yeah, so to cap it off, so that we would be racial, right? We have to eat
Mhm.
Indian food for dinner.
Damn.
Okay. So, so that's what happened in my household today. Food made us racist, apparently. I'm
Damn.
confused. Just because we wanted to protect our gums. I was like, what?
That that is something, boy. Ja.
When I go back outside, I'll send you a picture.
This is the first time I'm hearing of a Oreo bread. That is crazy.
Hi. Anyway, so back to the question that I sent this podcast host, right? Just now. Let me find my let me find let me find my voice. If you were given a choice to leave this around to go to the spiritual one, but in order to fully move on, you have to answer one simple question.
Hmm.
Are you happy with the life that you've lived? This
Mm.
choice is only given to you when you've succeeded in your purpose on earth, even though you may not have known what your purpose was at the time. Would you go or would you stay? My real question to you is, if you choose to stay and you tell God that you are happy but still choose to remain, what would be your reason for staying in this realm until a later date?
Hmm. That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I'm not totally satisfied with the life that I've lived so
Oh,
far.
yeah. Yeah.
So I would I would choose to remain for now, right?
Hmm.
And
But like that. But the question is like, okay,
mhm,
say hypothetically speaking, you are
yeah.
happy, but like you tell God you're happy, but you still want to remain. What? Why? What would be the reason for staying?
Okay, so if I'm happy
Hmm.
and I choose to remain,
Hmm.
it would be, if either I'm enjoying what I'm doing, like
Hmm.
like what I'm doing with my life in the direction that I'm taking, or I'm happy, like if you're helping people and you have like that group of friends that you ride in with, that's your group, you ride at that group and stuff like
Hmm.
that. Or your significant other as well, your pets, all that stuff, things like that that'll make you say like, okay, I'm happy, but like I want to ride this out here before
Hmm.
I go up, So yeah.
Also, you want to see like how everything unfolds before you leave.
Yeah, yeah. I would like to see, because like, let's say you started something, or you have some stuff in the works and whatever, and it's going really good and you're happy with the progress you're making, even though there's like these bumps will be on the road, right?
Hmm.
In on the way. But like, you at least want to see how it'll go, or if it reaches to a certain stage where you say, all right, cool, I could pass it on, or I could clock out, and it will finish and continue on blossom into something nice or beautiful.
Hmm.
Well then, yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, but like, okay, so here's the next thing that you have to think about, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
It's only specifies until a later date, so that could mean like next week, right?
Mm.
Or in a few months, a few years, or even until God decides, yeah, so it's about that time, fam. You gotta go, right? Like the rapture happens,
Right,
you know.
right, right. Yeah.
So like you have no idea how long that's gonna take,
True,
but
true.
you're still here because you made that decision to stay until a later date, and they never specified like how long is a later date. Like, would you still stay if you even if you had to roam the earth like this one person that was exiled from heaven until Jesus had to physically come for him?
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's interesting now.
Yeah. I don't think they would think about that though. I would love to see the
Yeah,
podcast come out and see
yeah.
like if they would bring up that because like I had the question, right? Mostly because do you want me to tell the story in this one or tell the story in like the next one?
We
So
could, we
what
could
prompted this question?
well, since we're on the topic, you could go ahead and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I was I think this was it was last year, a few years ago, right? I went to sleep and I saw angels in my dream. And
Hmm.
how angels travels kind of spooked me, bro. Because like you blink, don't blink, bro. Just don't blink because like it happens so quickly. I was watching a fight, and in the corner, I know where I was. I'm not gonna say where I was, but I know where I was. And in the corner, there were two angels aside. Like you can tell that they're angels because of their aura. And there was this group of people, and I know that I'm hearing a fight. I'm like, I don't like to see fights. Why am I here?
Hmm.
And like you hear people like, oh my gosh, he's beating him like he's gonna kill him, right? And then like, just randomly, you'd swear angels don't care. They do. But this one was like, yo, should we get something to eat from the cafeteria? And the other one is like, the older one, right? He's like, we
Hmm.
can't eat their food. It doesn't fill us. And I'm like, there's another cafeteria? And then they both looked at me. I'm like, oh shoot. They heard what I said, but I told it in my head. That's weird. And then they're like, yeah, there's another cafeteria. And they gave me a list of rules that I had to follow if I wanted to go with them. And like I looked back to where the crowd was and I realized that my position shifted. So in the span of me talking to them or them explaining the rules, I was somehow brought closer to them. And I'm like, "Ah, this is a dream, right?" The moment it stopped being a dream was when we teleported, I would say. And uh, I disobeyed one of the rules because I ran off without them. That's one of the rules, right? You can't if you're like, you can't leave your guardians or else you'll get lost.
Oh, okay.
Um, so I stepped outside because I was running after someone. I don't know what was in me at that point in time, but I ran for someone who left their guardian angel inside there. And I'm like, oh no, like you can't leave, right? Me not paying attention to freaking what it's like, do as I say, not as I do types. So,
Right, right, right.
right. And I ended up in a corridor. The person was gone. And I looked to my left, I looked to my right, and then I realized why I could have gotten lost because to my right was dark, right? It was dark and it looked like a forest at the end of this corridor. And to the left of me was filled with bright lights and it had a bend, right? So the
Mhm.
corridor continued. I went back inside for my guardian angel. I'm like, oh, where the next one? He was like, where's the older one, right? He's like, oh, he went to see about something. I was like, okay, fine. We stepped outside and I asked him, what's down to the right there? And he's like, oh, that's, I can't see, right? And
Mhm.
I said, okay, I figured. And then, so I started walking down to the left. And as soon as I bent the corner, you know how in town it have the bus terminus?
Yeah, yeah.
It looked like a terminus, right? And I'm
Oh.
like, okay, but it's for trains. It's not a subway station. Because to me, subway stations are underground, but this was above, right?
Hmm.
So it's it's a train station, and like I figured out what it was, and I said, okay, well, I saw what's here. Let's go back to the cafeteria. Let's go get the other angel, right?
Yeah.
As I was turning, this boy came up to me and he was like, "Can you help me find my mommy?" And I looked down at him. I'm like, "How the hell am I supposed to help this child find his mom?"
Mm.
Right? And I didn't know what to do. It felt like I was moving on autopilot, honestly. And I ended up touching his head and I saw his life, right? Keep in mind, I'm still thinking that this is a dream, right? It's coming
Yeah.
up where I realized that it wasn't a dream. Or like, part of it wasn't a dream. So I, I touched his head, I saw his life, and it broke my heart because his life wasn't a nice one and he was abused by his mom. Yet he's still asking to find his mom.
Mm.
And I was like, oh no, what do I do? And that's when you know, like, children have pure souls, bro, because they don't know right from wrong yet.
Yeah.
And like, so, so I asked him. I said, "You miss your mom?" after the thing was finished, right? I said, "You missed your mom. You miss your mom." He's like, "Yeah. Do you love your mom?" Yeah, I do. Especially when she reads me stories at night, and she gives me her last bit of food when there's nothing to eat. I said, "Oh, that's what you remember, okay?"
Mm.
And he's like, "I miss her so much." Not the pirates, though. The pirates don't care. Like, I miss her. I miss her so much. I said, "Okay, um, are you happy with the life you've lived?" Just randomly it came out, right? "Are you
Mhm.
happy with the life you've lived?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, well," and the train was pulling up. So the train pulled up, and you know how we have buses and things that said the destination I was going to, right?
Mhm.
This one just says Soul Train. I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
it has no destination.
Hmm.
Um, but like I thought about, okay, it doesn't have a destination, and then I got like flashes of where the train would go. I said, okay, that's how that works.
Mhm.
And I stooped down to the boys' level. I'm still in the corridor part. I forgot to mention that this corridor,
Mhm.
it just cuts off abruptly, and at the bottom it has like a line with words that I can't understand. It's in a different language that's not of this world. This is the best way I could say.
Mhm.
It looks like a mix of Hebrew and something else. That's the best that I could put it.
Okay.
Um, so I told him, if you want to see your mom again, you have to follow all those people that are on the platform. You have to go in the train. And when you see the doors open, that's when you get off, right? And I promise you, when you get off, you're gonna have someone waiting there for you, right? You'll see your mom again soon. That's what I said, right?
Right.
And he said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Okay, thank you." And he ran to the platform. He waited and he went inside. Well, and before he left, he turned before he like actually entered the train. He turned and he waved me goodbye. I said goodbye, and then I ended up looking down at the floor, and that's when I noticed like, okay, what are these words, bro? And I looked back up. The doors were still open. A few more people were stepping inside,
Mhm.
and I got uh the angel asked me. He didn't ask me anything. He said, you know, this is when it happened, right? You know, if you want to go, you can go. Just know that once you do, you won't be able to come back. You won't be able to go home.
Mhm.
I was like, what? And then the same thing that I asked the boy, I heard in my head, right? Because I looked back at the ground and it said, in my head, I heard a voice and it was like, "Are you happy with the life you've lived?"
Mhm.
I had to think about it like real quick. I was like, ah. And I said, "No, I want to go back home." And the angel was like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then he brought me back home. As soon as he dropped me back where he got me, I woke up. Right?
Ah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it like every now and then I'll hear that line in my head. Like when especially like when major things happen in my life, I would hear, "Are you happy with the life you've lived?" And I'm like, my answer is always no. Because I feel like when I do answer yes, that's it, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like, from the moment I say yes, it's like, all right, bet. I'm gone for. So there's that. Uh, but yeah, so if you were given that question and you say yes, but you're also given a choice to stay, but again, you don't know how long, right?
Right.
Because it just says, "Oh, it's a later date," and then like, no, you have to read for the rapture. Right? Like, would you still want to stay?
Hmm. I don't know. That's the thing.
Because time is uncertain and time runs differently.
Yeah.
That it like in different realms, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. I don't know. I don't. I really don't know.
Well, that was my question. I was like, okay, well, if he's gonna discuss it on a podcast, I'll discuss it on my podcast too. Because I mean, he doesn't have the story. I didn't tell him the story.
Right.
Thanks for tuning into the Mad Hatters International podcast. We hope you enjoyed the ride through our whimsical world of ideas. Remember to subscribe or follow, leave a review, and share with your fellow Hatters. Until next time, we'll see you in Wonderland when we jump down that rabbit hole again.